Hello everyone. We are going to be taking notes today on operations with fractions. So you need to go ahead and title your page. You first need to write down adding or subtracting fractions with the same denominator. Adding or subtracting fractions with the same denominator. Underneath that, you need to write steps. Okay, so step 1, add or subtract the numerators. Add or subtract the numerators. Step 2, keep the denominator. Step 3 is the last step, and that is simplify if necessary. Simplify if necessary. So we're going to do an example of 1/6 plus 2/6. After you add, you can go ahead and make a T-chart for each number. We're going to find the greatest common factor between 3 and 6 so that we can simplify. The greatest common factor is 3. So we're going to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 3 so that we can simplify the fraction. That will give us 1/2. Okay, next I need you to write adding or subtracting fractions with different denominators. Adding or subtracting fractions with different denominators. Okay, go ahead and write steps right underneath. So the first step is find a common denominator. Find a common denominator. Step 2, add or subtract the numerators. Add or subtract the numerators. Step 3 is keep the common denominator. Keep the common denominator. And the fourth step is simplify if necessary. So our example is going to be 7/8 minus 2/3. We're going to go ahead and multiply 8 times 3, which is 24. So our common denominator that we're going to use is 24. So first I'm going to take 7/8 and I'm going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 3. And that'll give me 21/24. Now I'm going to take 2/3 and multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 8. And that is going to give me 16/24. Now that I have a common denominator, I am able to subtract. So I have 21/24 minus 16/24. And that will give me 5/24. Next, you need to write multiplying fractions. And right underneath that, you're going to write steps. Step 1, multiply the numerators. Step 2, multiply the denominators. And step 3 is simplify if necessary. You need to simplify because when you're given a district or a state test, they're going to give you answer options in the simplest form. So you have to be able to simplify. So our example is going to be 3/8. And we're going to multiply that by 9/10. And you are multiplying numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. So I usually say it's just the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. Next, you need to write dividing fractions. And right underneath this, again, you're going to write steps. So step 1, keep the first fraction as it is. You're going to keep the first fraction as it is. You're not going to change it. Step 2, change the division sign to a multiplication sign. Change the division sign to a multiplication sign. Step 3, do the reciprocal, which is flip, of the second number. So do the reciprocal of the second number, which means you're going to flip the second number. Step 4, multiply the numerators. Step 5, multiply the denominators. And step 6, which is the last step, is simplify if necessary. So I need you to make a K and then a C and an F, because you're going to write keep, change, and flip. KCF, keep, change, flip. So our example is going to be 4 2/3 divided by 1 3/4. So these are mixed numbers that we're going to need to change to improper fractions. So 4 2/3 becomes 14/3. And 1 3/4 becomes 7/4. Then I want you to write a K, because we're going to keep 14/3. Then write a C and an arrow down, and we're going to use a dot for the multiplication sign. And then you're going to write an F, and we're going to flip 7/4 to 4/7, which is the reciprocal. So we multiply numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. And we have an improper fraction. So we're going to change that back to a mixed number. We're going to divide our numerator by our denominator. So 56/21 is equal to 2 and 14/21. However, we can simplify 14/21 by dividing both numbers by 7, and that will give us 2 2/3. And we are done with our review on operations with fractions. You can always go back and review the video, pause where you need to, and if you have any questions, let me know. Bye guys.